Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today we're plunging into a world that's both incredibly beautiful and, frankly, heartbreaking.
Yeah, it really is.
It's drawn from a powerful novel spanning decades of Afghan history. We've got a whole range of sources here, articles, research, personal narratives to guide us through the lives of two, well, extraordinary women, Maryam and Layla.
Yeah.
Our mission really is to uncover the profound resilience of the human spirit, the complex bonds that form in adversity and how individual lives get shaped by these huge historical changes.
Absolutely. And we'll explore how these really personal experiences intertwine with major political shifts. It offers you, the listener, a unique lens into, well, the intricate fabric of human existence.
Yeah.
You'll discover how love, betrayal, sacrifice, all these big themes play out against this backdrop of war and changing social norms. It invites you to connect these specific stories to the broader human experience of just navigating unexpected challenges.
That's a great point, how universal these feelings are, even in such specific circumstances. Right. So let's unpack this, starting with Miriam. Born in 1959, right from the start, her life is defined by this word, harami.
A devastating word. Bastard.
Yeah, her mother, Nana, spits it like an insect, the text says. Nana makes Miriam feel totally unwanted, like someone who will, quote, never have legitimate claim to the things other people had, things such as love, family, home, acceptance. Just brutal.
So harsh.
But then you have her father, Jalil. He's the opposite, at least on the surface. Calls her his little flower, tells her these amazing stories about Herat, a cradle of Persian culture, poets, bazaars.
He even mentions taking her to Jamie's pistachio tree, supposedly, when she was tiny.
Right.
And this immediately raises a huge question, doesn't it? What does that do to a child, getting such completely opposite messages about their own worth?
Totally.
Miriam's just stuck between Nana's intense bitterness, which comes from her own past, right? Disowned by her father, wedding called off because she was pregnant with Miriam.
Marrying a harami.
Exactly. And then there's Jalil's charm, this captivating affection, but it turns out to be pretty superficial.
And Nana's living in this small mud hut, the Kolba, outside town. She rails against Jalil, calls his house a rat hole built just to keep her hidden.
It's such a stark picture of being rejected by society, the weight of that shame. And you see how Nana's trauma just bleeds into how she treats Miriam.
And here's the thing, Miriam lives technically within walking distance of Herat, but she never actually sees these wonders Jalil talks about.
Her world is so small.
Her only real comfort outside of Jalil's visits is Mullah Fazullah, the village Quran tutor. He's patient, teaches her to read, offers some solace.
A vital figure for her.
She even tells him her dream, wanting to go to a real school, like in a classroom. But Nana just shuts it down instantly, tells her there's only one skill a woman like you and me needs, and it's not taught in school.
Nana's terrified of losing her.
Yeah, she says, you're all I have. It's desperate.
And it really shows the limited options, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially for women like Nana, whose own hopes were just crushed. You see this bitterness play out even in small ways, like the monthly rations Jalil's sons deliver.
Oh, yeah, the rock throw.
Nana throwing rocks and cursing them. And Miriam gets drawn into it once, calls missing names to please Nana, then feels awful about it.
And Nana laughs, pleased. It's this tangled mess of love and resentment.
Exactly. It shapes Miriam's whole understanding of relationships.
Which leads us to this really crushing betrayal. Her 15th birthday, Jalil promises to take her to his cinema.
A huge promise.
And Miriam insists he has to take her. With his other kids, she just wants to belong,
Of course.
Jalil agrees. Tomorrow at noon. But Nana tries everything to stop her. Just pure emotional manipulation. A man's heart is a wretched, wretched thing. I'm all you have. Even threatens to die if Miriam leaves.
It's awful pressure.
But Miriam goes. She holds on to that hope. And Jalil, he never shows up. She walks all the way to Herat, gets turned away by his driver, just sees him for a second in a window. Oh, heartbreaking.
Sleeps on the street outside his house. It's not just a broken promise. It's the moment her innocence, any real belief in his love just shatters.
Completely. And the consequences are immediate and devastating.
Her world just implodes. She goes back home and finds Nana hanging from the willow tree.
Oh, God. Such a direct, horrific result of Miriam leaving.
And then almost immediately, while she's reeling, she's married off to Rashid, a man in his 40s, friend of a business contact of Jalil's, from Kabul, miles away.
650 kilometers, a different world.
Jalil and his wives, they just want her gone. They're burdened. Jalil just offers this pained groan. At the wedding, she refuses consent 3 times.
But doesn't matter.
Nope. A female voice answers for her, seals her fate.
It's just chilling. The complete lack of agency for women, even in marriage, it's not a union, it's basically a transaction.
Yeah.
And Rashid immediately starts laying down the law, gives her a burqa, the full covering, and says, quote, "A woman's face is her husband's business only." He criticizes modern women, like their neighbor Fariba, who only wears a scarf.
But what's really insightful, psychologically, is Miriam's reaction.
Yeah.
She finds this strange comfort in the burqa.
Right, a one-way window.
Exactly. It gives her anonymity, shields her from scrutiny. It's this sort of buffer from her past shame, her illegitimacy. A tragic irony, really, that something meant to repress can also feel like protection.
And we get these early unsettling clues about Rashid, too. Miriam finds his gun pretty quickly, and then in his dresser.
Through pornographic magazines.
Yeah, a massive contradiction to his whole stance on honor and propriety.
It signals that hypocrisy right away.
Mm.
And later, of course, Layla finds out the even darker truth about his first son, Yunus.
Drowned while Rashid was passed out drunk.
Yeah, crying drunk by Garga Lake. It doesn't excuse anything he does, obviously, but it gives this chilling glimpse into maybe why he is the way he is. How unaddressed tragedy and maybe societal pressures can twist someone into needing absolute control, often over the women in his house.
A cycle of pain, yeah.
Definitely. His trauma becomes their suffering.
Okay, let's shift gears. Fast forward to Layla's childhood, 1987 Kabul. Her world is completely different from Miriam's start.
Totally different.
Her father, Bobby, is university educated, a teacher. He champions women's education, tells Layla her schooling is the most important thing. He talks about ethnic harmony, calls tribalism dangerous nonsense.
A much more modern, liberal perspective.
But her mother, Mammy, is just consumed by grief. Her two sons, Ahmad and Noor, died fighting the Soviets. She sees them as martyrs.
And that grief defines their home life.
Yeah, Mammy spends days in bed. Layla feels like just a visitor in this museum of her brother's lives.
It's such a stark, painful contrast to Miriam's upbringing, isn't it?
Mm.
Layla has these privileges, education, a more open environment, but she's still deeply affected by the same conflict, by loss.
Absolutely. And central to her story is her bond with Tariq, her childhood friend.
Yeah, Tariq, who lost a leg to a landmine.
He's her protector. There's
Yeah.
that famous story where he uses his prosthetic leg to defend her from a boy squirting water at her.
A great image. Their friendship grows into this deep, unspoken love. You feel that nervous energy of young romance.
Even with Mammy warning Layla about her reputation. You know, it's like a mine a bird in your hands. Slacken your grip and away it flies.
It's this beautiful pocket of innocence and connection right amidst the growing chaos of war.
And that chaos really explodes after the Soviets pull out in '89. Kabul just descends into civil war. The Mujahideen factions, the guys who fought the Soviets together.
You know they turn on each other.
Exactly, tearing the city apart. Rockets are just constant. Bobby makes this unthinkable decision, pulls Layla out of school.
To teach her at home.
Yeah, talking poetry, hafez, even quadratic equations while bombs are falling. And Tariq tells her how warlords control different parts of the city now.
Practicing marksmanship on civilians.
Firing rockets at cars randomly, but leaving taxis alone, strangely. So people paint their cars yellow.
It just shows the absurdity and terror of daily life.
Yeah.
How do you keep hope alive when your world is literally falling apart like that? Survival means understanding these bizarre, deadly new rules.
Yeah.
And yet, amidst all that, Bobby does something amazing. He takes Layla and Tariq to see the Bamiyan Buddhas.
Ancient statues carved into the cliffs.
He insists they need to know their heritage. Says, some things you just have to see and feel. He remembers Mammy being so alive, adventurous before the boys died. It's this desperate effort to hold on to beauty, onto history, when everything else is being destroyed.
Such a powerful moment. But then, more tragedy. Layla's parents are killed in a rocket attack, just as they're finally packing to leave Kabul, hoping to find Tariq's family in Pakistan.
Awful timing.
And then, this businessman, Abdul Sharif, shows up with more devastating news.
About Tariq.
Yeah, that Tariq is dead too, killed in crossfire near the border trying to flee. Layla is completely alone, desperate, and she's pregnant with Tariq's child.
Believing she has absolutely nothing left.
Which is when Rashid steps in, opportunistic as ever.
Yeah, he starts courting her.
Yeah.
Suddenly showing empathy, changing his political tune, even praising Commander Massoud, who he used to hate.
Offers her sanctuary. Paints this grim picture of what will happen if she stays alone, abducted, raped, or tossed into some roadside ditch.
Playing on her fear and desperation.
And Layla, feeling she can't abort Tariq's baby, she agrees. marries Rashid, even fakes intimacy on the wedding night so he won't suspect.
It's just gut-wrenching. And you see these two very different paths to the same desperate situation.
Yeah.
Miriam forced into it, Layla choosing it, in her own words, making a dishonorable, disingenuous, and shameful choice, but for her child's survival.
And the household becomes this pressure cooker of suffering. Rashid goes right back to being cruel, especially to Miriam, calls her Harami Dahadi village girl, favors Layla at first.
But that shared hardship, that shared enemy in Rashid, it slowly starts to forge this bond between Miriam and Layla. It's not instant, but their circumstances actually bring them together.
Yeah, it's an unlikely sisterhood. And then things get even worse when the Taliban take control in '96.
Imposing these brutal Sharia laws. Suddenly, women can't work, can't go out alone. Girls are banned from school.
Hospitals become segregated, which leads to horrors like Layla giving birth to Aziza without any anesthetic.
Because the female doctor couldn't administer it without Rashid's consent, and the hospital was barely functioning anyway.
And later, when Rashid's shoe shop fails because of the drought, money gets tight. He forces Layla to send Aziza to an orphanage.
It's just layer upon layer of oppression, isn't it? From
Yes.
the personal tyranny of Rashid to the systemic oppression of the Taliban.
Exactly.
But what's really fascinating is how Miriam and Layla's relationship deepens within that pressure. Rashid tries to divide them, pit them against each other.
Make Miriam Layla's servant.
Yeah, but Miriam refuses. And Layla starts defending Miriam. They have those initial fights, calling each other names.
Sad, miserable woman, whore.
Right. But that changes. That nightly ritual, sharing tea in the yard, becomes this quiet act of defiance. A tentative but pleasant companionship that grows into something really strong, unbreakable.
A true sisterhood.
It shows how human connection can resist even the most crushing forces.
They even try to escape together in 2001, but it ends badly.
Horribly. Betrayed by that man at the bus station, Wakil. Handed over to the Taliban.
And the officer, Rahman, his words are just chilling. What a man does in his home is his business.
It underscores the total lack of protections, basically saying domestic abuse is sanctioned. No recourse.
And back home, Rashid's punishment is brutal. Locks Miriam in the tool shed, boards up the windows, beats Layla savagely, tells her he'll kill all three of them if she tries again, kicks her so hard she's pissing blood for days.
Just unimaginable cruelty.
But then, the stunning twist. Tariq returns.
Alive.
Yeah. He explains everything. The refugee camp in Pakistan, his father dying, getting thrown in prison for smuggling hashish just to get his mother out of the terrible camp conditions.
Whole other story of survival.
And Rashid finds out. Zalmai, their son, innocently mentions Layla had a new friend. Rashid explodes, accuses Layla, attacks her violently, starts choking her.
And that's the moment.
That's the moment. Mariam grabs a shovel. And in this act of ultimate love, ultimate sacrifice, she kills him.
It's tragic, yes, but it's also this incredibly profound moment of agency for Miriam. After a lifetime of being passive, of enduring, she acts decisively.
Yes, it is.
She chooses, takes responsibility, knowing it means Layla and the children can finally escape with Tariq. She's saving Layla's life and securing a future for Aziza and Zalmai.
Her final days in prison. She dreams of her past. Jalil, Mullah Faizullah, Nana, the Kolba.
It's like her whole life comes together. She finds this understanding of herself, her own worth despite everything. Walking to her execution, she wishes for more of it, more life, regrets not seeing Aziza grow up, but finds peace.
A hard-won peace.
An incredible sacrifice that completely reclaims her story. She's not just a victim anymore, she's a savior.
After that sacrifice, Layla and Tariq get back to Murree in Pakistan. They build a new life with Aziza and Zalmai. It's peaceful, a happiness without cost, as the book says.
A rest.
But then, 2002, the Taliban are driven out of Kabul. An interim government is in place, and Layla makes this hard decision.
To go back.
Yeah, to return home. She feels the city is waiting, needing. She feels a pull, a need to contribute to the rebuilding.
And that marks this really profound shift, doesn't it? From just focusing on individual survival to thinking about collective rebuilding. Her journey back to Herat first, visiting Miriam's old Kolba.
With Hamza, Mullah Fazullah's son.
That's incredibly moving. Finding that tin box Jalil left for Miriam.
Containing money and that letter.
Jalil's letter, written just before he died, expressing all his regret, admitting he was an undeserving father, wishing Miriam the happiness, peace, and acceptance he never gave her.
Finally, some kind of closure for Miriam, even after her death. A validation.
Exactly. And Layla sitting there, picturing young Miriam, seeing her as this rock in a riverbed, shaped by turbulence, whose strength became Layla's salvation. It's like she's fully embracing Miriam's legacy.
So, back in Kabul, 2003, Layla and Tariq throw themselves into rebuilding. Tariq works for an NGO fitting prosthetics.
Giving back, using his own experience.
And Layla teaches at the orphanage where Aziza stayed. It's been renovated thanks to Tariq and the director, Zemin.
Bringing life back to a place of hardship.
Yeah. And even though the warlords are still around, driving their bulletproof SUVs now as ministers, Layla refuses to be consumed by resentment. She chooses to move forward. For the kids. For Tariq.
And for Miriam.
Yeah. She feels Miriam is never more than a breath or two below her consciousness.
It's a beautiful illustration of that cycle of hope and despair, but with this fierce determination not to give in. Layla sees Miriam's legacy everywhere. The orphanage, the trees, the kids laughing, Aziza praying.
And in Layla's own heart, where she shines with the bursting radiance of 1,000 suns.
Just beautiful. And Layla's pregnant again. Already picked out a girl's name if it's a girl. You see how that connection, that resilience, that love just continues. It fuels the future.
What an incredible journey we've taken, really, following Miriam and Layla through all that personal struggle and national chaos. Their story is just such a powerful testament to the spirit, the strength of women, and those unexpected bonds that get forged in fire.
Absolutely. This deep dive really highlights how personal relationships, family, friendship, that chosen sisterhood can be the ultimate sanctuary, even against the backdrop of war and oppression. We've seen resilience, forgiveness, incredible sacrifice, particularly in motherhood, both biological and chosen.
So what does this all mean for us listening today? I mean, Miriam and Layla's story is obviously set in a very specific time and place, but it raises this question that kind of echoes everywhere, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
When history just feels overwhelming, when forces seem too big, how do we find that courage? Courage to protect what we love, to rebuild what's broken, and like Layla, to keep hoping, even when the world seems determined to crush that hope. What does it really take to carry that legacy of both pain and immense love forward?
That's the question to sit with, isn't it? How that legacy continues in all of us.